Dreamers, you may now apply for deferred action starting August 15th. But before that, there's so many things also to consider, especially eligibility, especially guidelines, because this is a new thing. And that's what we're going to do right about now. We're going to explain all of that with you in our American Dream segment.
This American Dream segment is brought to you by Aquino & Lowe Law Firm, answering your immigration questions.
Attorney Richard Lowe, hello and welcome to Kababayan, LA.
Thank you.
So this seems like a good thing for our dreamers. And now let's talk about eligibility. They may apply starting August 15th, but who may apply?
Yes, what we're looking at is for people who came into the United States when they were under the age of 16. That's prior to June 15th of this year. And that they are not now over the age of 31.
And that is sad because when we first talked about this, I posted it up on YouTube and there was one comment that said he actually celebrated his 16th birthday 2 days after arriving here in the U.S. So that renders him ineligible, correct? Or...
Well, if he celebrated his 16th birthday in the United States, then he's fine.
Oh, okay.
As long as you are under the age of 16 when you arrive.
When you arrive.
Yes.
What about for those that when they get here and they celebrate their 17th birthday 2 days after they arrive?
Well, yeah, if they are 16 after when they arrive, then this does not apply to them. Unfortunately, yes.
Okay, that's only one requirement. Another requirement is you have continuously resided from June 15th, 2007 to the present.
Yeah, so essentially there's a 5-year continuous residency requirement. Okay. So if you entered after 2007, June 15th, 2007, then you're not going to qualify for continuous residence. If you entered prior to that but left, and left for a significant amount of period and then returned, you're not going to qualify. And also it's important that you're out of status as of June 15th.
And that is why it says here also you need to be physically present. You should have been physically present here in the U.S. by June 15th, 2012.
That's right. You can't come now and expect to get the benefits, or even if you had been continuously residing in the United States for some period of time but left, if you weren't here on June 15th, you're not going to be able to.
And you have to be in school?
Well, this is the good part. You don't actually have to be in school. We had been wondering whether or not they were going to expand this to allow people to, perhaps who had dropped out of high school for some reason, that they could go back and complete high school or get a GED or something equivalent. And the answer is apparently yes, that the government will allow you to enroll post June 15th of this year in order to complete the studies. And so really at the time of application is when you need to be enrolled in school or have completed your GED.
All right, sounds good. So it looks like this is really going to happen. A lot of people are hopeful. And if you find yourself in that, do they have to satisfy all the criteria that we mentioned? Yes,
they have to satisfy all the criteria. And it's important because there are a lot of small criteria. For example, misdemeanors, if you have a DUI, a single DUI, which is normally not thought of as a very significant misdemeanor, but under this deferred action, it will be considered a significant misdemeanor. Although expungements will be considered as well, so that's a trade-off.
But that's a long process, and then now you have to get a criminal defense lawyer to help you with their expungement, and then an immigration lawyer, right? They will need an immigration lawyer for this, yes?
Absolutely. I think, especially if you've had any contact with immigration, you should have an immigration lawyer helping you, making sure that you're not exposing yourself to any kind of problems with immigration by presenting yourself to them.
Will interviews be required?
It doesn't appear so at this time. It looks like it's just going to be a background check and submitting documentation to ensure that you meet all the criteria.
And it says here, if deferred action is granted, you may actually be able to travel.
Yeah, that's an exciting prospect. There are people who have been here for many years and who have not been able to go home and visit loved ones. And it does appear that once you receive a grant of deferred action, that you will then be able to apply for advanced parole. And if you are given advanced parole, you can leave the country and return safely.
All right, you heard that. That's the number to call on the screen. I would just like to make mention of so that you can start filing applications by August 15th. So you need to call your lawyers now so they can prepare the documents with you. Do we have a timeline? How long after August 15th you have to wait before you get some kind of a response?
We really don't know. I mean, since this is a new process, we have absolutely no idea how long they're going to take the process. Work permits are usually processed within 60 to 90 days. days. I would expect that we would have decisions in these types of cases somewhere in the range of 3 to 6 months.
And the thing is, there is no appeal for a denial of deferred action. So if you apply and you get denied, unfortunately, that's it? Game over?
That's it. And that's why it's very important to make sure that you're doing it right the first time. You don't want to submit something that's going to get denied, and then that's going to be a heavy burden to overcome the next time you try to file something. So it's very important to get that looked at and done right the first time.
And start it right by calling in lawyers that will be there to really help you. And you have to be careful because the right or the wrong help can actually hurt. There are some lawyers out there saying that they can do this, whatever, but you're not sure. But I can assure you, Attorney Aquino and Attorney Allison Aquino and Attorney Richard Lowe of Aquino and Lowe, they can help you. They help me. That's the number to call on the screen. Filing fee is?
Filing fee is going to be just the employment filing fee, which is $465 total. So there's no additional filing fee for the form. There will be a new form that will come out. There's no additional filing fee for that at this time. But there will be a filing fee for the employment document, which you must file at the same time, and also for advance parole should you request that later.
Right. So it's not cheap. It's actually quite expensive too. So you wouldn't want to part with that money just, you know, with whatever help is available. So you need to talk to a lawyer, and that's the number to call on the screen. Thank you so much, and more power to you.
Thank you.
Magbabalik pa po ang Kababayan LA. Don't go away.